What's going on YouTube? I hope everybody's having a great day as always. And today I wanted to do something extremely different that I haven't done on the channel before. I wanted to create a tier list of the 2020 product that I've been interested in. So my idea behind this was to pick sets I am extremely familiar with, or at least familiar with enough to have an opinion on them. There are lots of sets I have not opened or haven't really looked into at all, and those will not be included in the video, but most of which that are here are ones that I have opened or done research on, or at least am fairly knowledgeable about. So this is a tier maker, and all the products are here in the bottom. There are 25 of them, some Panini, some Tops. And how you read this, or how you're supposed to do it, is you assign each one of these products into a letter or a category. S, or the S tier, is typically going to be the highest. And in the event that you have multiple, the one furthest to the left is going to be number one. The one furthest to the right is going to be the weakest of that particular tier. A is the next tier down, and then D is the worst. So what I did is I went through to cardboardconnection.com, looked over every single release from 2020, made a little image, and uploaded them into my template. So this is something you'll see frequently. If you go to their homepage, you'll see fast food, sports teams, MLB teams, NFL, all kinds of things. So tiermaker.com is the website, and let's go ahead and get started. So I'm going to do these in relatively no particular order. I'm going to start with one that I think is S and one that I think is D, and then kind of go from there. So my qualifications for grading here are going to be 100% opinion. So I'm going to back my opinion with at least a little bit of fact or knowledge, and I'm going to weigh in value from the set. I'm going to weigh in the set list, so what rookie cards are in there. There will be a lot of things. This is the first time I've done this, so there's definitely going to be some improv, and some things are probably going to be done incorrectly. Some things will probably be done correctly. It's hard to know. It's also going to be hard to do more than one of these a year, just because it's hard to put a tier list without evaluating every product in your sample. So for instance, 2020 is done. I think there's one more 2020 set to come out that's going to be Chrome Update. I'm completely excluding that from this. I really have no intention of buying that. And then we move on to 2021 product. So once we're done with all the 2021 products, I suppose I could do another tier list. I could do one every quarter, up to that point. I'm not sure how I'm going to. I obviously want to do more than one of these a year. I think they're fun, but I'm just not sure what format I'm going to use yet. So anyway, my dead ringer for S tier is going to be Triple Threads. I absolutely love this product. I haven't opened any on channel. With that said, in either tomorrow or Friday's video, there will be quite a bit of Triple Threads. You will find out then. I think this product is very, very, very cool. It's a little on the pricey side, so I don't think it's going to be the first or the number one product in the S tier, but it has a lot to offer. So all of the thicker cards, the relics, the autos, the auto relics, they're all just awesome. I think the quality is very, very good, and I think the cards look absolutely incredible. The base cards, although there are a lot of parallels and numbered cards, I don't think they're as special, regardless of rookie cards or not. So that could weigh this down a little bit, but I do think they are a dead ringer for S tier. On the flip side, the dead ringer for D is going to be Allen and Ginter Chrome. As a whole, I'm not in love with the Allen and Ginter cards. So there is going to be some bias there. I also think the odds are awful for how expensive they are. There's no guarantee you get an auto or a relic in the Chrome hobby box. No guarantee. I believe it's based on average. So I did a quick lookup on Ellen Ginter Chrome on Steel Series Collectibles website, and they're going for about $190, so close to my 180 estimate. And you get one autograph per case, which I think is a little ridiculous given what they cost. Um, Relics are not in the set, and you get one auto per case. Case is going to be, I believe, 12 hobby boxes. It could be less, could be more, but I believe it's around 12. And that's just a little insane to me. There are some parallels, there are some insert cards and other things, but I feel like the value just isn't there. On top of me not really caring for the appearance of the cards too much, and for the price, you can go buy 2 boxes of Stadium Club for, a little over $200, which isn't much far out of reach from what you're paying for the Allen Ginter hobby box, and you would get 4 autographs, and they are absolutely just gorgeous cards. I believe you get 2 per hobby box. But anyway, so Allen Ginter Chrome, I think, is definitely a D. Next, since we're talking about Allen Ginter, let's go ahead and do standard Allen Ginter. I think they're going to be somewhere between B and C. I think I'm going to put them at the top of C. This might be, let's move them up to B. I'm going to put them in B. So these cards, they're definitely not for everybody. They have a very unique look to them. They have a handful of cards that, depending on who you are, hold absolutely no value at all. I don't really know what to call these. Jabs on his YouTube channel calls them weirdo cards. So since you immediately know what I'm talking about, I'm not the biggest fan of them. With that said, I have pulled a couple and wondered, who is this person? What is this structure? And learned a little bit of information about, said person, said structure. As a Ravens fan, J.K. Dobbins is one of the weirdo cards, and that's kind of cool to see. So, I can't completely hate them, but I do think it brings the set value down a little bit. I also am not nuts about the appearance of the cards. I think they could be maybe a little better, or I just don't like the art style, one of the two. And what's good is there is a little bit of value to be had. The hobby boxes are relatively inexpensive. You can probably find them for around $110. Maybe a little more, a little less, depending on sales in your shop and etc. You also get 3 hits per box. So that includes autos, it includes relics. More often than not, it's going to be a relic, but you could pull a rip card and you could pull, on-card autographs. So there is a little bit of value there. I have pulled a rip card on one channel before. I only got one, and it was really, really exciting. So I do think Allen and Ginter is appropriately put in B. I think C would be not fair. So moving on, I'm going to go ahead and do Top Stadium Club. And they are an A in my book. Here's why. I think there is a ton of value in that product. So for about $110, give or take, you can get a hobby box of Stadium Club Chrome. You get 2 guaranteed autos, and you're going to pull a handful of parallels. You're going to pull some rookie cards. You're going to pull some insert cards, all kinds of cool stuff. You're going to pull refractors. The cards are absolutely beautiful. You also get Stadium Club Chrome inserts. So I believe there's 1 per pack to get a Stadium Club Chrome card. So you could pull cool, kind of unique Chrome cards, as well as the aforementioned cards as well. The photography is absolutely stunning, especially on the refractors. I think it makes the cards pop even more. So really, I think they're deserving of A, mainly from a value perspective. If you're interested in the guaranteed autographs and really, really good looking cards and a little bit of the parallel chase, I think they offer a lot of value. Let's go ahead and do Topps Fire. So Topps Fire, I haven't opened a ton on the channel, but I'm familiar with the product, and I feel like they are targeting a very specific person. I, based on the design of the cards and how limited they kind of are to find, you can really only find them with the hanger boxes and blaster boxes. I have no idea if a Topps Fire hobby box even exists. So they're a little cheaper, which absolutely nothing wrong with that at all. And they have a lot of graphics and color and other kind of splashes of art, design, what have you on their cards. I think they are really, really good in their marketing children or kids in general. Absolutely nothing wrong with that. I think they're decent looking cards. I just, as a collector, I don't really care for them too much and don't really want a whole lot of them. I've opened a handful. I think they're kind of cool to look at, but I have no desire to go out and buy a bunch of Topps Fire. So I do believe they're marketing probably towards children, which again, they're a little bit cheaper. That's, if you want to buy them for your kids, that's awesome. If you want to buy them for yourself, go for it. That's just, I think they're, the C tier. They're definitely not D. Alan Ginterchrome, going into this thing, is probably the only one that's down there, in my opinion. So far, anyway. That might change as I do this. But that being said, I think Topps Fire, somewhere along that B, C tier. Probably the top of C, I guess, or the bottom of B. Anyway, don't have a whole lot to say about those, as I haven't opened a whole lot of them, but that's just, strictly my opinion. So next, let's go ahead and rank Topps Gold Label. Now I'm going to put this towards the top. I don't know if it's as good as Stadium Club, but it is very, very unique. So for a few reasons. One, you get a gold framed card in one of the packs in your hobby box. I believe Topps Gold Label is only a hobby product that can only be purchased in the hobby box. They are around $90, give or take, 20. I don't think I've seen them as cheap as 70, but I've seen them as expensive as, somewhere around 110. So you get one gold framed auto or relic per box, which I think are really cool. The ones that I've pulled have been in pristine condition and look just great. So I like that about them. What also makes them unique, in my opinion, are the class cards. So on top of having parallels, which are different colored backgrounds on their cards, they also have classes. So each class has, I don't know if it's the same player pool, but it most likely is. Each class has a similar, if not identical, player pool. And what's cool is each class, so class 1, class 2, class 3, has a different photo of the player. So on top of collecting parallels, which can be different colors, so red, blue, gold, etc., you can also collect class cards. Now, the class 3 cards are going to be the most rare. I believe there's one of those in every 2 or every 3 packs. You get at least, I believe it's at least, one class 2 card per pack, and then everything else is going to be class 1. So class 3s are obviously going to be more rare than class 1, and they're going to have a different photo variation of the player. I think that's very cool and adds a lot of variety to the set. So on top of getting the on-card auto per hobby box, there's lots of different variety of cards you can collect, including parallels and different class cards. So I think they're pretty cool. Maybe not the most value, as you don't get a whole lot of cards in a hobby box, but you do get the one guaranteed auto and lots of variety. Next, let's do a Panini product, as we haven't done a lot of those. Okay, so I want to put Diamond Kings in the B tier. So I personally have not opened a lot of this product. And with most, if not all Panini products, you get autos and relics per average, which means you could completely strike out, but you could also hit, and on average, you will hit. So a hobby box of Diamond Kings gives you one autograph and one relic. I believe it's on average, and they're fairly well priced. So I think a hobby box might run about $80, maybe a little more. I do believe around Black Friday I saw them for about 80, maybe a little less, depending on your source. But anyway, I think they're very good looking cards. I like the pastel slash on canvas appearance of the cards. There's not a lot of those. Inception is very similar in that regard, I think, at least. And so I do like the art style. Again, I haven't opened a ton of them. No, I can't. It's kind of hard to rank them, actually. But I do believe they're deserving of the B tier. There's some value there. I do like the relics. I do like the autos. And then overall, I do enjoy the art style of the cards. There are lots of parallels, as is common with Panini. And I think they're pretty cool. With that said, you can also get hanger and blaster boxes, which for the most part in this video up until this point, I haven't mentioned a whole lot about. I really just stuck hard with the hobby boxes. That's majority of the product I've opened, mainly because I can't find retail. I am in northern Georgia, and unless I'm at the Walmart or Target while the clerk is stocking the shelves, I have next to no chance to get product. There is just nothing up here. It's a barren wasteland. So that's partly why I'm partial to hobby, just because that's what I'm able to find. So I will do my best to include, the value offerings of the blaster boxes and hanger boxes and all the other stuff, but in all likelihood, I'm gonna not include them in a lot of my analysis. So next, let's go with Topps Gallery. I'm going to put them right in between Allen and Ginter and Diamond Kings. So ironically, I just talked about how I wasn't really going to mention blaster boxes a whole lot. I have a video on my channel where I opened 5 or 6, however many blaster boxes of Gallery I found. I got lucky at Walmart. So the story I kind of just mentioned, where I was, you can't find product unless you're watching the person stock the shelves. That's what happened with Gallery. I went on my lunch break during my day job, and she was literally stocking the shelves. Gallery was one of the last products she put out, but I saw it and I bought a fair amount of it. I believe they were $20 a piece, and I don't remember if I hit an autograph or not, but I did hit some cool parallels. By no means are they the most gorgeous cards. They're kind of similar to Allen and Ginter, and that they're not necessarily cartoony, but they're a little more, I guess, of an old art style. They're definitely not modern, and it's not true photography like Stadium Club, but they're kind of cool. They're unique. There are some cool cards in there. Also, you have a chance of pulling, it's either I think it's 1956 variants of cards. So I pulled a pretty cool Bo Bichette rookie card out of 25 that was a 1956 variant. I believe I've shown that one on channel. If I haven't, I'll bring it up at some point. Anyway, so I think they're kind of cool. There are mega boxes of the product available, which give you guaranteed, I believe they give you guaranteed hits anyway. So there are a few offerings of the product as a whole. I think they're pretty cool. Let's see. Let's go with Topps Update. So I think Update gets a C. No, maybe a low B. I don't know. Somewhere in the BC range. I'm not going to spend too much time figuring out where I'm going to put things on my chart. Wait, it wastes time. So I think Topps Update belongs somewhere in the B, C area. So I have opened a lot of it on channel. I have bought a lot of it, mainly because I like opening cards. There's always a chance you strike gold. I enjoy opening cards. I enjoy the hobby. That's why I'm starting doing this. The reason for the C is the set list is just not very good. So most of that has to do with COVID. So typically with the update sets, you'll they'll come out sometime around September, October, November. I'm not sure when this one came out, but around that period of time where most of the call-ups are happening. So, summer call-ups, fall, new rookies, when those guys are coming in, they typically appear in the update set. Now, the rookies that would normally have been an update for 2020 will be in Series 1 2021. So you may ask, well, what the hell did Topps do with, how are there so many cards in this set? Well, what they did, which is kind of cool actually, is the cards that would have been, the rookies or new additions to the update series were replaced by veterans from the World Series, from the All-Star games, and there's little insignias on lots of those cards indicating when that picture was taken and when that card, was produced. So, Ken Griffey Jr. is all over it. He has appearances from home run derbies, from All-Star games. Same with Mark McGwire and Mike Trout. Mike Trout has like 7 different cards in the set. Same with Miguel Cabrera. So that's kind of cool, homage to those players, getting them in the set where otherwise it probably wouldn't exist at all. So outside of Randy Arozarena and Trent Grisham rookie cards, there really isn't a whole lot to collect from that standpoint. But you still have the chance of getting autos, relics, all that, parallels, all that good stuff. So maybe it's a low B instead of a C. The set list wasn't great, but there still is some value there, and you can definitely find the product, as flippers have had somewhat of a hard time getting rid of it due to the set list not being super good. I'm going to go back to my judgment and put it at top C. We'll move fire back to where it was. So, let's go ahead and rank contenders. I have a feeling a lot of the Panini products are going to fall somewhere around B. I'm going to put contenders at the top of B, I think. So, what's cool about contenders is the amount of hits you get on average per box. I'm going off memory, but I believe per hobby box you get 4 relics and or autos. It could just, I'm actually fairly certain it's only autos. So 4 autos, 6 packs, that's on average. It might be 3 autos, it's 3 or 4. I don't remember, and I'm not going to look it up. It's not going to change my opinion of the product. I think the cards are kind of cool. They look like ticket stubs. The parallels are a little underwhelming. All they really are palette swaps of the font color and everything on the ticket stub. So some cards are numbered, some cards are not. They're cool. The inserts are interesting. You get a ton of cards in each pack, lots of veterans, and then your hits, as well as, some rookie cards are available as well. Overall, my reasoning for rating them so high is I think the value is just there. You get a lot of autos, and if that's, I feel like a dead horse because I keep saying auto with this package, but I do think that's a good selling point for these. If you're out for the chase trying to find really cool autographed cards or really cool rookie cards with the potential for having autos on them, I think this set offers, a fair amount of value there. So I think it warrants its tier, and let's go ahead and move on. I have no idea how long I've been recording so far, but I probably want to speed this up a little bit. So let's go ahead and go with Panini Prism. So this one may get a little bit of hate. I have no idea. I actually really like these cards. Panini Prism they were one of the first sets I had opened on this channel. They were one of the first sets I had bought since I started collecting again. And my main reason for that is you get 3 autographs on average per hobby box. And all this stuff aside, there are a ton of parallels to collect. So I think the parallels were really, really cool. It's something that didn't exist when I collected in the 90s. So as the first cards I saw when I was looking up, new baseball cards to collect for 2020, Panini Prism was one of the first that appeared. And I like the red parallels, I like the blue, I like the spotted ones, there's tiger stripes, there's snakeskin, there's all kinds of stuff. I think there's 18 different parallels. I've only seen a handful of them, but I thought immediately that they were really, really cool. The downside, which is why maybe I should put them in B, is with Panini products in general, obviously, you guys know they don't have licensing. So my problem for that is some cards I see and I'm like, ooh, I really noticed that they're missing the logo or something about the card, and I'm like, that just looks like a guy wearing a baseball jersey. It could have been me when I was 15 years old playing baseball. Some cards I look at them and I'm like, hey, I know exactly who that is, and it doesn't bother me that the logos and whatnot are photoshopped out. It's very weird. It varies from card to card. So maybe I should put them on B, but that's not really judging the product too much. That's more just Panini as a whole. So I'm going to keep them in A. Stadium Club Chrome, I am going to put them at probably the bottom of A. The bottom of A or top of B? I think top of B. So when these first came out, including the cards you get in Stadium Club standard packs, I saw them and I thought they were awful. I didn't like them at all. I don't know what it was. I don't know why I didn't like them, but I didn't like them. Now, when the set came out, I don't really like using this phrase, but they really did grow on me. So I bought a handful of Stadium Club hobby boxes. As you've seen in my daily pack crack videos, there's been quite a bit of Stadium Club Chrome, and I really do like the cards. My favorite is pulling a refractor of any kind. I think the backgrounds that are kind of blurred out on the Chrome cards look really, really, really good in the refractor variants. Obviously all the cards can't be refractors, but if they could, that set would be just absolute fire for me. I'd be like, yeah, that's probably all I would buy. You do get, they are a fair bit more expensive than their standard counterparts, and you get one less auto per hobby box, so you only get one. So there's not quite as much value as there are with the standard product, but they are still pretty cool. Sure wouldn't be Heritage. So let's go ahead and do Heritage. So Heritage actually might go, I think that's dead last, mainly because of high number. I haven't opened any on the channel, mainly because the people that have, in a lot of instances, the cards just don't look good. They're dinged up. Obviously, Topps was maybe, I guess they were struggling or completely forwent their quality control portion of this product, but they just don't look good. A lot of the edges are banged up, the corners are bent. I think this product was a little rushed and just overall doesn't look great. Also, with the cards being black, I believe that's 1970 skin, with the cards being black and the sides being dinged up, it's just that much easier to see them since, the sides of the cards are going to be white. So I'm not going to harp on that too much, but I just don't like them very much. Let's go ahead and throw in. Actually, I'm not going to rate Inception. I don't know enough about it and really haven't opened it. I'm not going to rate Finest either for that reason. So I'm going to group Bowman Chrome. Do I want to group them together? I'm trying to speed this up a little bit because only 30 minutes. go ahead and do Topps Chrome. I'm going to put Topps Chrome in the A tier. Maybe S. And we'll throw them up at S. So I really, really like Topps Chrome. That's why I'm throwing it up in S. I think they are very nice looking cards. They're a little more expensive, but you do get guaranteed hits. The Mojo cards are really cool. They also have a lot of different varieties. So I mentioned earlier I wasn't going to use this in my analysis, but I think I'm going to now. So you can get the hanger boxes, you can get the blaster boxes, you can get the hobby boxes, you can get the jumbo boxes, you can probably get mega boxes of Topps Chrome. So there is a ton of product available, lots of different varieties, and I just think it's a very fun set to collect. There are a bunch of good rookies, and the cards look really good. I like the chrome finish on them. I think they look significantly better than their standard counterparts, and I just think it's a really fun set to rip and a fun set to collect. So that's fairly quick. Let's go ahead and do Topps Holiday. I'm going to put them just after Topps Gold Label. So I really like Topps Holiday. I think the value, assuming you can find it in retail, I believe it's a exclusive Walmart product, but assuming you're able to find it, I think it is a very good value. All of the short prints in this set are really cool. They'll replace bats with candy canes. They'll replace belts with Santa belts. Santa will randomly be in the stands. Snowmen will be on the cards. I think they're just really fun. You also get a relic or autograph per box. So I believe they are actually $20 retail. You know, you get 10 packs. I don't know how many cards are in a pack. But you also get the guaranteed auto or relic, which is awesome for $20. So for the price of, one Stadium Club hobby box, or, even more than that, you could get 6 or 7, Topps holiday boxes, have 6 or 7 relics, and have probably a bunch of short prints that are cool to look at. The cards are also very festive. Around the names on the left, right, top, bottom of the card, you'll see some garland, you'll see mistletoe, all kinds of Christmas kind of holiday themed cheery cards. I think they're really cool and they're unique. So I think they are deserving of their A tier status. I'm going to go ahead and do Archives next. I think Archives goes somewhere smack dab in the middle of B. By no means are they gorgeous cards. They are mostly older cards that have been modernized with modernized players, but skinned with, old skins. So, you'll see 1970, 1954, 1956 variants, all kinds of throwback. I believe 2002 is in 2020 for the 18-year anniversary, whatever you want to call it. So I think they're pretty cool. They are fairly good value as well. You can get a box of Archives for somewhere around $100. And you'll get a guaranteed autograph per box. Guaranteed autograph card, guaranteed relic, I don't remember which one. Lots of different parallels and lots of rookie cards. Just good cards to collect. Not a whole lot to say about them, to be honest. Just because they are what they are, you know what they are, and you're collecting because you enjoy it. So I'm going to go ahead and do Boom and Platinum next. They are going to go into C tier. Mainly because of the quality. So I've opened a handful of Boom and Platinum on my stream or YouTube channel in one video, and I wasn't super nuts about the quality of the cards. I thought a lot of the sides were dinged up, and that degraded a little bit, and they also felt a little cheap. The parallels were cool. I bought the boxes with the chartreuse parallels, so they looked okay. I don't remember what autographs I pulled, but overall I just wasn't super impressed, and I think each box I bought was around $45 or $50. So for what I spent, I felt like I could have gotten a better product for, around the same or less money. So next is going to be Gypsy Queen. I'm going to put Gypsy Queen right next to Alan Ginter. I think it's maybe a step above. They're very similar in terms of their appearance. They're a little older style card. Actually, I'm going to rank them below Allen and Ginter, as they are extremely, extremely expensive. I believe the hobby box I bought was around $230. I could have bought, 2 Allen Ginter boxes for that. And I'm not nuts about their parallels. So the Gypsy Queen cards, you'll have names omitted off the card that kind of look like errors. They'll have logos missing, things of that nature. They're almost gimmicky in my opinion. I just don't really like it. So the more I talk about them and remember them, the more I want to move them down. So I'm going to put Gallery ahead of them. I wasn't nuts about the cards. Looking into the set, browsing the sheets on blowout cards, I was like, hey, these look kind of cool. They're a little more expensive than I wanted to spend, but I thought they were cool. But overall, I just wasn't really impressed. I believe I pulled relics with my hits instead of autos, which I think relics are really cool, but it doesn't always feel good when you had the chance to get an auto, but you got a relic instead. So I just not super nuts about them. I feel like they could be better. Absolute. I'm going to put them somewhere in B. I opened the one mini box. Actually, I really like them. Let me bump them up to A. I really, really like the one mini box I opened on the channel. I thought the cards were really cool and unique. That's something that the hobby is lacking, in my opinion, is uniqueness. A lot of the cards, not necessarily, well, some of them do look the same, specifically Topps, and Series 1, Series 2, and Update are all the same skin. So it does get a little boring, essentially looking at the same card over and over again, which you can prevent that by buying different products. But anyway, I did enjoy the uniqueness of the Absolute set. Also, the hits were really cool. I pulled a manufactured relic, which looked like a baseball that was signed, which I thought was very, very cool and, again, unique. And overall, I thought the cards were just pretty cool. The mini hobby box, or mini box, it was around $100, I believe, maybe a little more. I could be wrong. But I thought there was a fair amount of value there. I believe I got 10 cards, similar to Topps Gold Label, I guess. Guaranteed hits, and I liked the product. I thought it was interesting. A very small sample size, but I was impressed with what I opened. So let's go do Bowman Chrome. I'm going to slide Bowman Chrome right up here next to Topps Chrome. I do like Bowman Chrome a lot. I also, for the most part, really like Chrome cards. So Bowman Chrome, I've opened a fair amount of it on the channel. I haven't really scored anything big, but what's interesting with Bowman Chrome is obviously there's going to be a lot of prospects in it, or players, rookies anyway. So lots of unknowns, and it's hard to know if you hit until maybe a couple years down the road on some of the players that just come out of nowhere. There's always going to be a superstar that just comes right out of the blue. For instance, this year we had Randy Arozarena, who had one of the best September and Octobers, specifically October ever, just blasting home runs left and right, and his cards shot through the roof. I don't know if he was a super high prospect or not, but the card prices definitely reflect that there's a chance that he knows what he's doing, can put it all together, and make a hell of a career. So Bowman Chrome kind of has that mystery to it, and I like that. I think they're great looking cards, and I enjoy the set. I'm going to slide Bowman right up against Bowman Chrome. I like the Chrome cards over the base cards, and for the reasons I just mentioned, excuse me, I like the Bowman cards as well. So I'm not going to harp on that too much. Topps Series 1 and Series 2, I'm going to slide. Series 2 has the Luis Robert rookie. I think Series 1 and Series 2 might have. I actually don't remember what's in each. I'm going to put them in A side by side. I I'm fairly certain they're very similar in value. One might edge out the other. They're going to be similar in update in terms of what you get. You're guaranteed, I think, one auto or relic per box, and there's tons of different variants available. You have the blaster boxes, the hanger boxes, all that good stuff. They are fairly inexpensive, which is awesome if you just want base Topps cards. They're not super expensive compared to a lot of other things on this list, and overall I like them. So not a whole lot to say about those. I'm getting a little tired, to be honest, so I'm going to leave that at that. So that is my final tier list for 2020 baseball cards that I have personally opened, or at least am very familiar with. I left Topps Finest and Inception out just because I've hardly opened or seen any of those cards. I've opened a handful of Finest in my hobby or in my subscription boxes. I really like it. I think they are absolutely just gorgeous cards, and they probably warrant their premium price tag, but I just didn't feel comfortable putting either of those two in the video. So with that said, please like, comment, and or subscribe if you enjoy my content and like today's video. I'm going to end it here, so I will see you guys tomorrow. Have a good one. Bye.